Hey everyone, thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Laura Train Mama. Today we're having a look at this Thomas and Friends annual. It's from the year 2013. What we're going to do today is skim through all of the pages. Any stories I will upload in full separately to give them the airtime they deserve. Let's jump in, shall we? Over on the left hand side is the contents page, and over on the right hand side it says welcome to the Thomas Annual 2013. Join Thomas and his friends as they work hard as always and have lots of fun on the Island of Sodor. Over on the next page then is a double spread fact file. We're learning all about Thomas. There are also opportunities to do some colouring and to practice the use of a pen, pencil or crayon to write Thomas's name. Over on the next two pages then we are looking at the top 10 engines. Which engine do you like the best? You don't have to write it down, you could just let me know in the comments if you want to. Over on the next page then is Sing with Thomas. If you ever wondered the words to that catchy tune, well, here they are. Over on the right hand side then is an activity. It's called Road, Air or Sea. Here we are drawing lines to show which of Thomas's friends get around by road, air or sea. There is also a colouring opportunity down at the bottom to make Bertie red. Over on the next page then is Story Time, the best present of all. I'll upload that separately in full a little later. Over on the next page then, once that story has ended, there is an activity called Rattling Rods. Salty has to get his rattling rods repaired. Which path leads him to the den at the diesel works? Over on the next page then is a double spread true or false activity. Thomas is at the beach. Look at the picture, then circle the words to say whether each sentence is true or false. Over on the next page then is an activity. It's called Make Sir Topham's Hat. Wear a top hat like the Fat Controller. Over on the next two pages then, it's another fact file. This time we're looking at Cranky. We're learning all about Cranky here, with another opportunity to practice the use of pens, pencils or crayons. You can practice writing Cranky's name. There is also a colouring opportunity of Cranky down at the bottom. Over on the next couple of pages then is an activity called Down at the Dark. It seems like a nice one. I may try and find time to upload that activity separately. Over on the next page then is Story Time, Creaky Cranky. I don't think I will upload this one separately because I have read it before. But what I might do is pin a comment with the link so that if you want to go back and watch that story, you can do so at your leisure. Over on the next couple of pages then, it's another fact file. This time we're looking at Victor. Here we are learning all about Victor. There is also an opportunity to get those pens, pencils or crayons out to colour Victor and also practising writing Victor's name. Over on the next couple of pages then is an activity. It's called Sodor Seaside. What you're going to do here is have a look at each of the pictures. You're going to answer the questions. And also if you look at the words in red, if you have ever seen them before at the beach, you can add a tick to the little tick box. There is also an opportunity to practice drawing a sandcastle. And in box number 6, draw here what you would like to do at the beach. Over on the next couple of pages then, it's another fact file today. This time we're learning all about Captain. Over on the next page then is an activity called Kevin and Victor Maze. Kevin's late for a job at the steamworks. Help him get through the maze to Victor as quickly as possible. I mean, no pressure, but it is rather urgent that you do this. Over on the right hand side then, can you spot the 6 differences between the two pictures below? Over on the next page then is a double spread. Make Jeremy the jet. Oh, we're getting very crafty here. Over on the next couple of pages then, it is another fact file. This time we're looking at Hiro. Continuing on the Hiro theme then, it's Story Time, Hiro Helps Out. I'll upload that in full separately. Over on the right hand side then is a colouring opportunity. This page is called Rarely Useful Thomas. The Fat Controller gives a special card to engines who are really useful. Thomas has impressed him today, so colour in Thomas to complete his card. Over on the next couple of pages then is an activity. It's called At the Engine Sheds. We're looking at 6 questions. How many blue engines are there? Where is Emily? How many green engines are there? Where is Toby? How many engines are there all together? Oh, which engine do you like best? Over on the next couple of pages then, it's another fact file. It's with. Over on the next couple of pages then, let's go to the animal park. Wow, look at that tall animal. What a long neck it has. I thought I was big, but it makes me feel small. There are various activities to do here, and you can also draw your favourite animal. Over on the next couple of pages then, if you fancy some baking, you can make some engine cakes. Lovely. Over on the next couple of pages then, it's another fact file. This time we're covering Gordon. Over on the next page then is a double spread search and rescue activity. So what we're going to do is carefully study the big picture. Then over on the right hand side you will see various little images. What we want to do is find the little images in the big picture. Does that make sense? And the idea being every time you find a little image in the big image, you colour off a balloon. Does that make sense? Lovely. Over on the next page then is another activity. It's called Make the Fact Controller. Make your very own Sir Topham hat, which is quite nice because a previous activity was making Sir Topham hat's hat. So between this activity and the previous activity, you'll both be looking like Sir Topham. Over on the next page then is another fact file. This time we're looking at Rocky. Over on the next page then is Story Time, Gordon's Shortcut. I'll upload that in full separately. Over on the next page then is Tip Top Colouring. The fact controller needs a hat, of course. Draw one on his head, then colour it in. Over on the next page then is an activity. It's called Thomas's Special Delivery. Help Thomas deliver a new hat to the fact controller. But watch out for the fallen trees on the track. Then over on the right hand side is an advertisement for some Thomas and Friends merchandise. So that brings us to the end of the skim through of the Thomas and Friends annual for the year 2013. I really hope that you enjoyed listening along with me today, and if you did, please don't forget to hit the like button. Really helps me out. Share this video with a friend if you want to. You could even check you're subscribed if you want to. And if you are waiting for those stories, don't forget to check back over the next day or two and they'll be uploaded. We hope to see you there. Have a great day.